We have to be a little bit careful because it's icy.
As dawn's first light glances off the frozen waters of Piney Narrows Yacht Haven on Kent Island, father-daughter sailing duo Ralph and Naomi from Switzerland dream of distant, sun-soaked shores.
Caribbean, someplace warmer. He's the initial sailor, and we did a trip when I was a kid. We went for a year in the Bahamas, and since then I love sailing, and so now I'm doing my own trip. Yeah.
We bought a boat beginning of the year at Cedar Point Marina, so it's not far from here. Trying to get down and get out of here.
But a sudden January cold snap thwarted their plans.
We've been stuck for a week.
Today, they're finally getting underway, with a little help from a much larger vessel.
My name is Mike Simonson. I serve the Department of Natural Resources as the principal captain aboard the motor vessel AV Sandusky. We came in on Thursday there, our winter location, right in Kent Narrows. When we came in, they came and talked to us and wanted to know when we were departing, and they asked if they could tail us. And that's what's going on right now.
Departing Kent Narrows, the two-ship convoy enters Eastern Bay. Shallow and protected, it's quicker to freeze than the open Chesapeake. Today, the Sandusky carves a passage through this glacial expanse, doing its duty as one of the state's resident icebreakers.
And you can see that this has been undisturbed. It's a massive sheet of ice. It's going for miles. You can feel the vibration on the boat right now.
At 80 feet and about 120 tons, the Sandusky's sheer size and steel-reinforced hull enable it to crack through ice up to 8 inches thick. It also has a different engine cooling system than most vessels to prevent ice or slush from clogging up the works.
You can see the bigger pieces now of ice, so this is all of 2 inches. That's a good indicator to me of why he wanted to follow us out, right? So, smart move. Bear with me. This is our sailboat, friends. How you doing? How was it coming in there and tailing us?
It's very nerve-wracking because you have these big sheets and these big plates of ice. You hit one and it shakes the whole boat. So what we did, we just stayed always right in your track in order to avoid touching the sides. Probably I got a couple more gray hairs going through there, but that's all right.
Okay, well, very good. Nice talking with you, and calm seas to you both. As we're coming around here, we're rounding off into the open bay.
Ice coverage on the Chesapeake Bay varies dramatically from year to year. In a typical winter, about 10% of the bay freezes. But in heavy ice years, that figure can skyrocket. In 1977, during what's now called the Great Freeze, ice covered 85% of the bay. In 2025, coverage reached nearly 50%, according to the U.S. National Ice Center.
The last time that we had this type of ice concentration, it was in 2018 and in some periods of 2019.
A warming climate is expected to reduce ice in the years ahead. But for now, the record shows more variation than decline.
We're going to be continuing on down into the Chesapeake River system. One request today is to help a classic wood motor yacht get out into open water.
Floridian Chris Staker is the captain of Lake Trail.
This boat is a 1967 Huckins Linwood, 56 feet. We were in the transition of trying to get some of the mechanical stuff caught up on the boat and take care here at Campbell's Boatyard. Then we got a little bit of ice, and then we figured it'd melt, and we just got more ice. Hopefully the Sandusky is going to get us rolling here in a few minutes.
We're going around this shoal and coming right in here to the entrance into Batcher Point. Oh, yeah. You can feel that. Having to use more RPM here, it's frozen quite solid. Some of this ice can actually move and barge away from you, and you got to make sure that it won't penetrate the hull of another boat. That's why I'm sort of cutting this like a loaf of bread right now, taking in slivers.
But even with the marina cleared and a channel cut, the journey out into open waters is a treacherous one for a wooden boat.
I mean, you got sheet ice that'll cut right through the hull sides. If I get anywhere behind him, just off a little bit, and the boat were to slide over, it'd get cut right through the hull side. Roger that. It's so thick that, man, I can't imagine not having this boat. You guys are really fortunate to have this here. That ice back there was about 4 inches thick, you think?
4 inch. Pretty accurate.
Roger that. Thank you again.
My pleasure. Glad to be of service.
Service to Maryland's waterway users is at the heart of the Sandusky's legacy.
AV Sandusky was Alexander Vincent Sandusky, who played for the Baltimore Colts. When he retired from the NFL, he came to work for the Department of Natural Resources. He was so instrumental on helping Marylanders with access to enjoy the Chesapeake Bay. In 1989, when we chose to build this vessel, they named it after him.
When there's no ice to break, the Sandusky provides countless other services: buoy maintenance, post-storm debris clearing, and more. But for today, just one final stop.
We're headed up Broad Creek, up into Grace Creek to go to P.T. Hamilton Fish Wholesaler. And I would call this a hub for our professional watermen that are fishing right now the oyster season. We have up to 15 to 20 Chesapeake dead rice commercial fishing boats standing by to get out on the water. Now with these warmer temperatures, I'm going in there to break it up to help it dissipate a little quicker and let them get back on with their livelihoods, because today would be a beautiful day to be out oystering. They're just stuck. The lane that I create here, as long as we keep on a slow warming trend, it'll stay open for them to be able to navigate in and out of here and get out to the oyster bars that they're working.
As the sun settles into the horizon, the Sandusky heads towards Cambridge, her port for the night.
It certainly is a rewarding position. What makes it that is all the things of what this vessel accomplishes for waterway users here in Maryland. You know, a waterway user is anybody sitting on an inner tube to somebody in a fancy motor yacht, or our Chesapeake dead rice boats out earning a living, kayakers, canoers, paddlers, rowers. We're there just to protect our waterways so that everybody else can enjoy our waterways. You know, you can't really sum it up other than knowing that it was another good day aboard the AV Sandusky.